Engel with the Center for the Advancement of Sustainable Energy here at JMU, and I'll be talking with you today about some of the renewable energy education resources that are available to you to use in your classroom. So just a little bit about our center. We are the Center for the Advancement of Sustainable Energy. Through partnerships with government, academia, and community organizations, we support sustainable energy deployment through research, education, and outreach. And here is a lovely picture of our team. Within the center structure, my focus is on the education and training side of things. And so I want to tell you a little bit about some of the resources that we here at the center have to offer. First, we do a lot of things within the K-12 student engagement space. You can book a field trip to come to JMU and see our wind turbine and solar panels and do some hands-on STEM activities on campus. But we will also come to your classroom, your STEM day, your after-school clubs, what have you, to bring renewable energy resources to you. We also host the Renewable Energy Challenges, or the KidWind Challenges, and there'll be a lot more about that later, but these are great culminating experiences. If you're bringing renewable energy concepts into the classroom, a great way for the students to apply that and then compete. We do offer summer camps as well, and we do advise student projects. And so a lot of times there's a capstone research project at a governor's school. A lot of times that does usually entail a demonstration project, taking a wind turbine or some solar panels and actually applying them to do something cool on their campus. We also have a handful of classroom resources through our lending library, and we also have a YouTube channel with lots of great video resources for you to then implement those kits in your classroom. We do offer professional development. We do that through a 1-week summer academy. But we also do some kind of here and there training, usually around getting coaches ready for the competitions. But if your district is interested in a personalized training, we are happy to do that on case-by-case basis. A little bit more about those renewable energy demonstration projects. We were part of the Wind for Schools program funded by the Department of Energy starting in 2010, and really got into this idea of helping schools not only get demonstration projects, wind or solar, but then making sure that that system is then utilized in the classroom to teach about renewable energy. We work closely with Repowering Schools. We work closely with Generation 180, who has a Clean Energy Schools Leaders Network, and the NEED project that offers a lot of great curricula around having wind or solar at your school. So when it comes to stuff that you can have at your school, the first kind of low-hanging fruit is a weather station. Weather stations are great ways to get the students to interact with technology, data loggers, and also start learning about the wind patterns and sun patterns and doing things with that data. There's also the ability to install a small wind turbine to do something at your school. Maybe it powers a classroom, maybe it powers your greenhouse, I don't know, but it could be a cool demonstration project. Of course, there's also solar photovoltaics and solar hot water systems that can be great at your school. And of course, with all of this technology, from weather systems to renewable energy systems, there's a slew of data that you can access, which is fantastic for meeting a bunch of those other standards within math and other places. We are happy to work with folks on how to use that data in the classroom. Some of the curricula will have activities specific to that, and some don't. So happy to work with you if you have data and you don't know what to do with it. When it comes to more of the curricular side of things, we start with books. Books are a great way to engage your students, especially the younger ones, with a story about energy. So here's just a great variety that we really enjoy: Win the World Over, Energy Island, Catch the Wind. There's also a Catch the Sun book. Many are familiar with The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind because it's also a Netflix movie, and My Light. And so again, they come in all different shapes and sizes for all different grade levels, but a great way to start engaging. There's also some great video resources. The Kilowatt Hours documentary, I think you can find it on YouTube, is great for understanding why we need to save energy. the impact it's having on the environment, but it also does focus a lot on solutions. The History Channel through Modern Marvels and other shows like Dirty Jobs have covered renewable energy in a bunch of different ways as well. Then there's the curricula. While there's a lot of different curricula out there, we work very closely with the NEED project and with the KidWind project to bring wind and solar and energy efficiency and some hydro sorts of kits to our kit library and resources to teachers. Like I said, there's others out here, the Facing the Future, the GLOW program, Project Learning Tree. They all have some things that are going to relate to renewable energy and things like that. But we find that KidWind and NEED tend to have the hands-on STEM curriculum. Not that there's anything wrong with the others. And my goal in life is to help you to navigate that slew of curricula out there, to help you find the best curricular resources and activities to help you meet your classroom's needs. So if you're doing a module and you don't know where to start, just pick up the phone and give me a ring, and I'm happy to walk you through some of the options. And majority of the curricula come with or need kits in order to execute. So we created a renewable energy lending library full of kits. These are all free resources you can borrow for up to a month. You're gonna have to come to JMU and pick them up and bring them back. And sometimes I can bring them to you, and they're, depending on where you are. This is the link. We are located in Harrisonburg at 1401 Technology Drive, which is off campus, so it makes it a little easier for y'all to get to, right next to the Rockingham County Public School building. And if you want to borrow a kit, you just email me or email case@jmu.edu. And if you know exactly what kit you want, you can go straight to the Google form and select those kits and it'll send me an email. But a lot of times it's a lot easier to kind of start with a conversation to talk about what you're looking for, because a lot of the kits are really cool, but maybe not all of them meet your needs. So give me a ring. I'll go through this relatively quickly, but we have kits that range from topics of general energy, as well as energy conservation. So we've got breakout boxes and hand crank generators and power grid kits, the Lego renewable energy kits, and lots of energy conservation kits from NEED. On the wind side of things, we break things down into measuring the wind with kites, windsocks, anemometers, those types of things, to wind in motion. And this is not generating electricity, but using wind to do something. So like a windmill or a sail car. And then there's a whole grouping of activities that I kind of put under the wind turbine design. This is more on the engineering side. You're definitely generating electricity at this point. Between KidWind and NEED activities, you build turbines, you design blades, you can build a wind farm, you can float your wind turbine. I mean, there's just a bunch of things that you can do, and it really just depends on how much time you have and what kinds of concepts and skills you really want to hit home. On the solar side of things, we break it down into solar thermal activities and then solar PV activities where they're generating electricity. In the solar thermal area, you have radiation cans, solar ovens, and parabolic cookers and distillers. There's UV beads, there's nature print paper, there's solar balloons, like there's just so much cool stuff. And then on the PV side of things, it's a lot of solar panels, and we're either doing experiments using multimeters, or we are applying those solar panels to do something cool like power a house, a town, a water fountain, a boat, something like that. And then we do have the We Share Solar suitcase. And this is a really cool, awesome project, but this is something that's going to take you a couple of weeks. Potentially, it's got a great curriculum that's got science and social studies. We talk about sustainable development goals and refugees and energy access, as well as climate change and DC electricity and solar panels. And then ultimately they build a solar powered suitcase with a battery. And then if you buy a deployable kit to go along with the kits that we have in the library, that gets deployed to sub-Saharan Africa to power a school in a refugee camp. So it could be a really cool project, but it's not free. The classroom suitcases to play with in your classroom are totally free to borrow from us. If you want to deploy it and have that global impact, you're gonna have to pay for that one. We do understand that not everybody lives in Harrisonburg. So there are current satellite locations. We dispersed kits to the 4-H camps around the state. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the best place, but we have these great kits that are the need solar and wind kits broken down into activities and paired with books. So, and we're picking them up from these camps, and we're now moving them to libraries, and they will be able to be borrowed just like a book, but it will be either an individual activity kit that mom or dad and kids can borrow and take home and do something once, or it could be a classroom kit that a teacher could borrow and take home to the class to do with a bunch of kids. So it's a work in progress right now. So if you're interested in kits elsewhere, just contact me and we'll let you know where they are right now. And we do have some other satellite locations that are a little bit more informal. The Virginia Museum of Natural History hosts one of our wind tunnels for testing for the competition. And Nauticus has a slew of wind kits that they have available. They're not really loaned out in a formal way, but if you were in need of them and you ask them, they might lend them to you. And we're looking to kind of grow the kinds of resources that are available regionally to not just be these kits, but to also be summer camps and teacher trainings and competitions and things like that. So we are working right now with various universities to establish those networks and train up teachers so that we can do more around the state. So if you have any potential partners that you'd like to bring to the table, just let me know. We did mention the renewable energy challenges. So JMU does organize regional events, and those regional events take place in March. So we usually host one in like the Virginia Beach area, one in the Charlottesville area, one in the Richmond, Petersburg area, one up in the Winchester area, one in the southwestern part of the state around Blacksburg, and then this year we've added Lynchburg. And then all of those regionals feed into a state competition to be held at JMU, and that state competition usually happens in April. So you'll want to check the website for local competition information and up-to-date dates and other information. And then lastly, you can spend your summer with us, and that's fantastic. We do have a summer training academy. We host it along with the Content Teaching Academy at JMU the last week in June every year. So the dates change, but it's always that last week. And it is a campus, kind of residential training. You come and you stay unless you're within driving distance. And that's fantastic. And that's like entry level. I've never done this before. I just want to see what kind of curricula there is and get my hands on it for a week. But it can also be someone who's done this for a couple of years and just wants to dig a little bit deeper and spend some time in content and things like that. So we'd love to see you there. We also offer summer camps in Harrisonburg, but we have been asked to start regionally offering those summer camps. And Richmond right now is offering our solar solutionary camp where they build the solar suitcase over a week. And we're hoping that we will have a summer camp rolling in Roanoke in the next year. So that's the really quick overview of all of our amazing resources pertaining to renewable energy. We would love for you to get involved with our center by borrowing a kit from our library or scheduling a field trip to visit us on campus, inviting us out to come and talk to your classroom or do an activity. You could start the discussion at your school about a wind or solar demonstration project, and we'd be happy to talk with you about that opportunity. We would love to have you come out to one of our challenge events to see the challenge in person, to see if you want to participate in the next year. And then you could attend that summer training academy at JMU and really get that dig deep into the curricula experience this summer. And then we are also happy to work with you if you are interested in bringing a renewable energy industry expert into your classroom. Maybe there's a solar farm or wind farm being built near you. We can reach out to that company on your behalf and see if we can facilitate getting some experts to come talk to your kids, or maybe even set up a tour. So with that, I appreciate your time and I look forward to hearing from all of you. Have a good one.